What's up YouTube, I'm AVscape and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, do I have an absolute treat for you today. Now, as you guys know, I make a lot of guides on this channel on how to do certain skills, and I'm not necessarily the most efficient player when it comes to it. However, I do always like to figure out the most efficient method. Might not necessarily do the most efficient method, but I always like to figure out the most efficient way to go about things. Now, something that a lot of people in the high level community talk about is saying things like, if you can make X amount of money, then you should do this method of skilling over this method of skilling. For instance, if you can make 2 million GP per hour, you should train your prayer with superior dragon bones, but if you can make less than 2 mil an hour, then you should train your prayer with normal dragon bones. Today, we have an awesome spreadsheet to go over. I really can't explain too much without jumping into it, so let's start messing around and hook in. So first of all, before we jump into it, guys, I want to give a massive shout out to Barest, the man that made this spreadsheet. He's been working on it over the last couple of weeks, and I've got to say, it is absolutely fucking epic. This is probably one of the juiciest spreadsheets I've ever seen, and I feel like my fellow sweaty nerds out there are really going to enjoy it. So getting started on this spreadsheet, which I will leave a link to down in the description, basically all you have to do is type in your RSN and it will automatically grab all of your stats from the high scores. As you can see here, these are my stats. The next thing that you want to do is chuck in the amount of GP you can make per hour. For me personally, I can make about 1.8 mil per hour at raids. Don't laugh at me, I'm not very good at them, but I'll chuck in 1.8 mil here. Currently, he's only worked out the formulas for Herblore and prayer. He's now working on other skills like cooking, construction, rune crafting, and stuff like that. The link in the description will go to his updated version. So every time he does another skill, it will be updated on there automatically. So if you guys ever check back on that, you can always see the most updated version. The link will be in the description, as I said. So if we then go ahead and chuck over to the Herblore tab. So if we jump over into the Herblore tab, I'll give you guys a bit of a rundown on how this works. So essentially, you would take your current Herblore XP, which you can find by going back to this page. My current Herblore XP is 1.665, and then taking that away from the goal level. My goal level would be 90 for raids, and the experience for 90 Herblore is 5.3 mil, so we take away the amount of XP I already have. This is my goal experience gain, 3681. So if we go ahead and type in 3681, 3.681 million experience is what I'm trying to gain. I then go ahead and chuck in my GP per hour, which, as we discussed before, is about 1.8 million is what I can make from raids. And it will go ahead and update this little column here called the EVXP. Now this column is going to calculate your expected value per XP. And this is basically going to tell you, if you can make 1.8 mil an hour, it might be faster for you to make potions rather than clean herbs, or if you can only make 500k an hour, it might be faster for you to clean herbs than it is for you to make potions. So we have everything that you can do down the side here. As you can see, attack potions, clean guams, anti-poisons, clean Marantil, clean Taramin, etc, etc. If we have a look down at the EV per XP here, and we find the lowest number. So being level 78 Herblore, I can only look from here up. So the lowest number here is a minus 15.1, which tells me the most efficient thing that I can do for my level right now is to make super restore potions. So that is the thing that I would do if I wanted to train Herblore. We can also go over to this section over here, and this section is essentially making the potions if you buy the unfinished potion versions instead of mixing both. And as we can see here from the EV per XP, there is a lower one in here, which is the super restores as well. If we go ahead and go back over here, we can see super restores. If I was to purchase the unfinished potions and make the super restores with just the secondaries, I'd have a minus 12.9. So this is the most efficient thing that I can do for my level. As we move up towards the high 90s, we can see that there would be better methods. For instance, making super combat potions, or at 98 making extended super anti-fire. Now this spreadsheet automatically takes the prices from the actual RuneScape website for all of these items. So every single time you load up this spreadsheet, it automatically updates the prices. You don't have to do absolutely anything. Now if we go ahead and say that I can only make 250,000 GP per hour, let's just say I'm a fresh noob, I want to train some Herblore. I can only make 250,000 GP per hour. We then go ahead and have a look at the EV per XP, and we can see that there are a lot lower ones here now. For instance, cleaning grimy toad flax is now a 0.8. So cleaning grimy toad flax would be actually a really good method if I can only make 250k per hour. You can see here that cleaning grimy toadstools is actually, because this number is in the positive, that means that I can make more money per hour cleaning grimy toadstools than I can make anywhere else, and this should be my new money making method. So if we can only make 250k per hour, we can see that cleaning toadstools would be the best thing for us. However, if we can make 1.8 mil, making super resource would be the best thing for us. Now, another thing to keep in mind, guys, if you're going to use this spreadsheet is make sure you only change the boxes that are in yellow on any of these pages, because if you change any other boxes, you could break the spreadsheet. Let's go ahead and move on to the prayer calculator. Just before we move on, guys, keep in mind that all of these calculations are done on the assumption you can clean 5,000 herbs per hour, you can make 1350 potions including secondaries, or 2,200 potions using unfinished potions. I believe Barest is working on being able to make this so you can change this to the amount that you can do in an hour. For me personally, I know I can clean more herbs than this. You might be able to make more potions than this, etc, etc. I believe he's working on changing this up so that you can change it to your personal preference. Having a look at the prayer calculator now, let's just say we have a 500,000 goal experience gain, and once again we can make that 1.8 mil per hour. We can see that our EV per XP, the best thing that we could possibly do is killing ensouled dragons for a minus 13.8. However, what I want to show you guys here is if you can make an extortionate amount of money, let's say 7.5 million GP per hour, that's all going to change up, and then it becomes that superior dragon bones, using them on a gilded altar, is going to be better. And once again, same deal, if you can make less money than that, you can see if you can only make 250k an hour, you're going to be better off killing ensouled elves for your prayer XP, rather than doing the ensouled dragons or the superior dragon bone. Once again, I believe Barest is working on figuring out a formula for approximately how many bones you can use on the wilderness chaos altar, where you save a bone 50% of the time. So obviously that's going to save you a lot of money in the long run, and it's probably going to be way better than using the ensouled heads. However, there's a lot of variables in that, so he's going to take a little time to work on that and get that out soon. The last thing that I want to touch on for this spreadsheet is a little thing he likes to call the eagerness amp. So essentially, this takes the amount of money you can make per hour, and then this eagerness amp shows how keen you are to get this skill done. Let's say you hate training prayer, you can only make 250k an hour, but you really want to get this over and done with, so you want to get it done 3 times faster. You just change your eagerness amp, and then it goes ahead and changes up the things that you should do. So rather than doing the ensouled elf heads, you can see now you'd be better off doing the ensouled Kelphite heads. If you really want to get it done at a 5 times, you can now see that doing the ensouled dragons would be the best for you. Now, when you guys go to use this for yourself, you will click on the link. You won't be able to edit anything. What you have to do is just go ahead and jump into File and make a copy. Just throw that in your drive and it will go ahead and chuck it up for you. You do need a Google Mail account to be able to access this, so that's not the best thing in the world, but super simple to access. You can make a copy and then you can go ahead and edit it for yourself. But I don't think there's much more I can go over with this spreadsheet. If you guys want to try your efficient skilling, this is definitely going to be the best way you can go about calculating it. There's no more having to do ridiculous mathematics in order to figure out what's the most efficient method for you to train. This is going to be perfect so that you can figure out what's good for you. You can take your maximum GP per hour, you can type it in, figure out your goal experience gain, figure out how keen you are, and then this spreadsheet is simply just going to tell you exactly what is the best method. Once again, guys, massive shout out to Barest. Thank you so much for making this spreadsheet, dude. I'm absolutely honored that I'm the first person that gets to see it. You're an absolute bloody legend. I asked him if he had any social medias he wanted shouted out. He said, no, that's all good. I'll just leave a link to this one in the description down below. Once again, thank you so much, Barest. You're an absolute ledge, mate. That is going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I know it was a super quick one, but there's not much more I can say about this spreadsheet, except that it is the best thing that I've ever seen. I'm definitely going to be using this for my efficient skilling, Barist is definitely working on getting a bunch of different skills in there so that you can figure out the most efficient method for all your different skills. That is going to wrap it up. Once again, link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you in the next one tomorrow. Take it easy.